I am once again sick of Bethesda's BS. And also I got the flu, but that's neither here nor there. Hello everyone! Welcome to another installment of me rambling in front of a microphone for 10 minutes. So it has come to my attention that something interesting happened the past few days. Mod folders breaking, mods not working, people in uproar once again, and it's all because of the usual suspect. The Creation Club updates. You've probably seen a lot of people in the community and even outside the community talking about these, and all of them cite these updates as something mostly bad. So today I just wanted to give my honest opinion about these updates. I have been making content about Skyrim modding for about a year now, so I believe that I can give a bit of a unique perspective. So to that end, I have observed how other members of the community have interacted with these updates, and you might be surprised to find out that it's a bit more of a mixed bag than we initially thought. So, what was the essence of the update we got a few days ago? Well, the update had two main features. Firstly, it released more content for the Creation Club, which is exactly the kind of content you would expect for the Creation Club, meaning it's overpriced, unassuming, and you can definitely find something better for free out there. The second function of this update was the creation of the Bethesda Game Studios Verified Creator Program. Basically, more authors can work with Bethesda and upload their creations to the Creation Club in exchange for a small royalty fee. Now, despite me saying that I have been creating content for Skyrim for the past year, I have been part of this community since about 2017, and we've been through this before, so naturally you would expect the response to be just about the same. Negative review bombings, boycott attempts, but that's not exactly what happened this time. Mostly because everyone was too busy trying to unbrick their Skyrim folder, but also because of some other factors. Firstly, I want to talk about the main demographic that is affected by this update and how exactly they interacted with it. Skyrim modders. So, how did the people that make content for Skyrim interact with these news? Well, it's a huge mixed bag. Firstly, let's talk about an older story that carries the essence of what I'm trying to say. The creator of Maids 2 stopped working on the mod mainly because of the Skyrim updates. For him, these Creation Club updates was the worst thing that could happen. They made mod creation a lot more difficult, and eventually they even made him stop modding. Yet this was a bit of an older story. Back then, there was only Legendary Edition and Special Edition. For the updates we got last week, I went ahead and asked Dio, who is currently making the biggest Skyrim mod out there, Apotheosis, how these updates interacted with his ability to make mods. And he responded by stating the following. Development is always on a pre-anniversary edition of Special Edition, so the effect for us is basically none. So for a content creator who's working on a older version of Skyrim, there is basically no change. Modders are only affected if the mod they're working on is based on the newest version of Skyrim, which is why if you're making a Skyrim mod, on God, do it on Special Edition. And if you're someone who's considering to start modding Skyrim, I must also advise you to do it on Special Edition. It's not going anywhere, and it's a lot smoother than Anniversary Edition. Then, there are the content creators who actually made an effort to join this program. For example, TrainWiz, who made Wheels of LoL, a mod which we've already covered on the channel, have become a member and have uploaded work to the Creation Club. It's not a quota work and it doesn't have the same depth as Wheels of LoL, but it's still pretty solid. So as you can see, the situation is a bit more complex this time, rather than the last time which was almost universally negative. And I think this is mostly because now modders have the option of sticking to an older version of Skyrim and just modding that version. When this system was first attempted, there was only Legendary Edition and Special Edition. Legendary Edition is very hard to mod, which is why everyone was essentially stuck on Special Edition. So when these updates came out, they were a huge headache for the community, but now modders have the option to skip them. So that's how modders interacted with these updates. But how about the rest of the community itself? What of the people that mod Skyrim? How did they take to this update? Well, I think the top comment on my Legacy of the Dragonborn video sums everything up pretty nicely. Bethesda, this isn't canon, but Pets of Skyrim is. It seems to me that beyond the frustration created by these mods, most people are just underwhelmed by these mods. And it seems to me to be the case that there is mainly two reasons as to why these mods are so underwhelming. Firstly, price. Oh my god, the price! If you were to buy everything added with this new update, it will cost you 40 quid. If you were to spend that much money, you would get, I want to say like 5 hours worth of fun for Skyrim. My dear viewers, I just want to inform you that at the moment, Monster Hunter World is up for 10 bucks. You can get better for free and you can spend your money on way better things. That's the main issue when it comes to underwhelmment due to price. If you are to buy these mods, if I were to buy these mods, the biggest reason as to why I would do so was because I want to support the modder. Because this price is ludicrously not worth it. They are not worth the money, you can get better for free, and you can spend your money on something that will give you a lot more entertainment. And Bethesda knows this. They know that not everyone is going to be buying these updates. They know that there's better out there, and so they are cracking up the price to squeeze as much money as possible out of the few people that are willing to give them money for these mods. I also want to note that this isn't a monopoly when it comes to supporting a creator. If you want to support the mod creator that is making your favorite mod, they probably also have like a Patreon, or you can donate to them on Nexus mods. The only thing that makes this system different is that
Bethesda gets a way bigger cut.
and you also get content back for it, which I feel is also part of the problem. It doesn't feel like Bethesda is adding anything to this content. It just feels like Bethesda is trying to become the middleman for a community that has formed around their game, and not actually adding anything of substance to it. Except one thing. The second complaint people have with these mods, and one that frustrates me above anything else, is that they decided to make them canon. I get where they were coming from. People would be willing to pay more for something that is canon. Take this from a lore nerd. This is an extremely bad decision. Why? These mods are stuck in a limbo between telling an unassuming story because no one wants to push the lore inside a Creation Club mod, and trying to tell a grand story inside the Elder Scrolls universe, but being unable to because no one wants to push the lore inside a Creation Club update. Do you see where I'm going with this? They are either unassuming, and in the off chance that they attempt to be grand, they fall flat because the Creation Club is not the place to tell a good story. It is too linear, there is way too much red tape, and I think that the fact that it is canon crashes creativity. Imagine if Vigil and Glen Moriel and Unslad had to be approved by Bethesda before they were uploaded. They would just never be approved, or they would be watered down to the point where no one would care about them. That's the issue I have with this content being canon. Take for example, the Creation Club quest mod, Umbra. Umbra is one of the most mysterious, badass artifacts in this entire universe. It is a Daedric artifact, it has a consciousness of its own, and its backstory is fleshed out beyond that of any other Daedric artifact. So how was such a badass weapon treated in a Creation Club mod? Well, you get in a medium-sized dungeon, you fight your way through said dungeon, and then you get the sword. Again, unassuming because it cannot be assuming. Or, for the low price of nothing, you can play There Is No Umbra, a DLC-sized questline which adds new mechanics, new areas, new dungeons, and new bosses, and professional voice acting. Which one of the two would you add? See where I'm going with this? The fact that they are canon isn't a good thing. It crashes creativity and it makes the scope more linear. So, what do I think about the Creation Club updates? Well, with all that has been said, I first want to advise everyone to mod Skyrim at an older version. If you have made the tragic mistake of buying Anniversary Edition, download the Special Edition patch. It makes life a lot easier and it breaks way less things. As for the Creation Club mods themselves, I feel like they're a bit of a wasted opportunity. I feel like Bethesda wanted to create a system like Roblox where creators can create content and people can then support that content and play with it, but in their attempt to do so, they held the leash too tight. With all the talk about content creators having to be verified and having to abide by certain policies, and the content having to be canon, I feel like it crashes creativity and it doesn't allow people to make the creations they want. That plus the hefty prices they are makes this way too unappealing and just doesn't make it up to par with something like Roblox. So for this system to be good, I feel like they need to loosen the leash, give the option for content to be non-canonical so people can mess around with it, and maybe take a smaller cut of the pie. Before I close this video, I also want to note a cynical theory of mine. See, Bethesda has made it clear that free mods stay free and paid mods stay paid mods. They would not harm the ability of people to make their own mods. However, come with Elder Scrolls 6, what is stopping them from saying, if you want access to the new creation kit, you have to be a verified creator. The very idea that not only is this a possibility, but I can see this being something that could happen is very frightening for me. And it should be for you too. So with that cynical take out of the way, that was my opinion about the Creation Club update. Maids 2 is up next. Should be out before the new year. Have a lovely Christmas, have a lovely holiday season, and have a wonderful day. Bye.